أهلا وسهلا. Welcome back to Learn Arabic. كيف حالكم? I hope you are doing well. So, what about our previous lesson? Did you get it down pat? I hope it's the case. Now let's talk about today's lesson. We are still familiarizing ourselves with Shaddah, and this time we are going to analyze another variant of Shaddah, and that is Shaddah with double vowels, i.e. tanween. We will also highlight a couple of notes regarding this new diacritic. So without any further delay, let's begin. As mentioned previously, Shaddah is a W-looking diacritic that is always placed on top of a letter to indicate that this letter has been doubled up. In other words, it is a repeater sign used to indicate that the letter to which it is attached has been used twice. Among these two identical letters, the first letter represents a letter with sukoon, and the second one always have its own movement mark, either a single or double vowel. Since we already discussed Shaddah with single vowels, now it's time for Shaddah with double vowels. But before diving directly into the analysis, we would like to draw your attention to, or let's say bring to mind, that as mentioned in our series about tanween, double vowels only come at the end of words. Thus, Shaddah with double vowels will only come at the end of words too. You will never see Shaddah with double vowels at the beginning or the middle of a word. With that out of the way, let's move on to the terminology section. Terminology-wise, it is important to highlight the fact that whether the letter with Shaddah has a single or double vowel, its name will remain the same, mushaddad or mushaddada, according to the context. That's pretty simple. Now time has come to analyzing Shaddah with double vowels, i.e. tanween. Since we have three types of tanween, we will also have three types of Shaddah with tanween too. First on the list, Shaddah with double fatha, i.e. tanween al-fath. As you can see, double fatha is placed on top of the Shaddah, and it represents the movement mark of the second letter of the couple. Moving on to Shaddah with double kasrah, i.e. tanween al-kasr. As indicated, double kasrah can be written in two different ways, right underneath the Shaddah or under the letter itself. But Shaddah will always stay on top of the letter. It will never be on the bottom. Last but not least, Shaddah with double dhamma, i.e. tanween al-dhamm. As you can tell, double dhamma is placed on top of the Shaddah, and that will always be the case, and it represents the movement mark of the second letter of the couple. Now, before diving directly into the pronunciation part, let's take a couple of minutes to remind you that even though Shaddah is a diacritic like any other, Shaddah by itself doesn't have a specific sound. It is only a repetition symbol that indicates that the gemination is going to be taking place. In other words, the pronunciation of Shaddah will change according to the letter that has been doubled up. With that in mind, let's begin. So, these are our examples, and this time, for the sake of diversity, we have chosen 3 sentences instead of 3 words. It is also a good opportunity to enrich your vocabulary. We are only going to focus on the pronunciation of Shaddah, but let's read the whole sentences first. رأيت قطا. هربت من دب. إنه قوي. One more time. رأيت قطا. هربت من دب. إنه قوي. Let's begin with Shaddah with double fatha. Listen carefully to the word, please. قط. If we want to break down this word, the spelling will look like this. Don't forget that a double letter is the same letter repeated twice, once with sukoon and once with the movement mark. And since the movement mark that comes with shaddah always belongs to the second letter of the couple, our second ta should be the one carrying the double fatha. And by the way, don't worry about the final alif. It is the one that comes with tanween al-fath. Now, since sukoon sounds like as if we are pronouncing the first letter of the name of the alphabet in question, and tanween sounds like as if we are pronouncing the single vowel form of the double-edged movement mark and following it with an N sound, the combination will be قطن. قطن. I'm going to go slowly first and then step by step translate to the normal speed. قطن. 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 And now for our second example. Listen carefully to the word, please. دب. Again, if we want to break down this word, it will look like this. As mentioned previously, a double letter is the same letter repeated twice, once with sukoon and once with the movement mark. And since the movement mark that comes with shaddah always belongs to the second letter of the couple, our second ba should be the one carrying the double kasrah. Now, since sukoon sounds like as if we are pronouncing the first letter of the name of the alphabet in question, and tanween sounds like as if we are pronouncing the single vowel form of the double-edged movement mark and following it with an N sound, the combination will be دب. دب. Listen carefully, please, while keeping an eye on what's written. دب. 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 I hope you've got the hang of it. Let's move on to our example with tanween al-dhamm. And our final sentence is إنه قوي. We are going to focus on the word قوي since it is the one carrying shaddah with tanween. We are also going to apply the same steps as the two previous examples. As usual, I'm going to read slowly first and then translate to the normal speed. قوي. 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 That's about it. This is all about Shaddah with Tanween. Before ending this lesson, let's move on to a couple of important notes regarding Shaddah. Most of these notes had been mentioned at least once, but let's briefly highlight them due to their importance. First of all, let's see why a mushaddad letter, i.e. in conjunction with the shaddah, never comes at the beginning of a word. The reason why: we all know that a mushaddad letter is the same letter repeated twice, once with sukoon and once with a movement mark. If we start a word with a mushaddad letter, that means that the first syllable is going to begin with sukoon, and that's technically impossible to sound out. A second letter, i.e. a letter with sukoon, can never start a syllable, thus a word. So, one more time, a mushaddad letter will never be at the beginning of a word because Arabic syllables cannot begin with sukoon. Sukoon always indicates the end of a syllable. For more details about sukoon, feel free to refer back to the link that will appear on the screen. Moving on to our second note. Shaddah will always have a movement mark, either a short vowel or double vowel. And this movement mark belongs to the second letter of the couple. To put it differently, a mushaddad letter will never be in conjunction with sukoon. The reason why: Shaddah indicates a double letter where the first letter bears a sukoon and indicates the ending of the preceding syllable, and the second letter represents the beginning of the upcoming one. In order for the second letter to be able to start the next syllable, it has to be in conjunction with the movement mark. It's a must. Sukoon can never start a syllable, as mentioned previously in our first note. I hope you've got the idea. So again, Shaddah will always have a movement mark, either a short vowel or a double vowel, but will never bear sukoon on top of it. This is all about our second note. Let's move on to the last one. Last but not least, any letter can accept Shaddah except for alif, ya, and waw when they are acting as long vowels. This is due to the fact that whenever alif, ya, and waw are acting as long vowels, nothing will be written on top of them. Otherwise stated, they won't be in conjunction with any diacritic. This is due to the fact that differentiating between the regular form of alif, ya, and waw and the long vowel form can be tricky for beginners. To make these letters distinct from their long vowel form, the Arabic script uses diacritics to do so. Any alif, ya, and waw carrying a diacritic is not a long vowel. So, to sum up, any letter can accept Shaddah except for alif, ya, and waw in their long vowel form because they cannot bear a diacritic in this particular case. That brings us to the end of this note section. We highly recommend watching the whole series a couple of times in order to get Shaddah down pat. And what is even more important than that is to give time to all of these new concepts to fall into place. Remember that learning is a marathon, not a sprint, and you have to learn how to enjoy the journey. I know that it is not necessarily the easiest journey, but giving up is not going to make it go by any faster. And going to the extremes is truly not sustainable in the long term. So slow and steady wins the race. I'm going to let you go now. Thank you for stopping by and see you in our next lesson. مع السلامة.